Hey guys, it's Kid3 and I shouldn't sing along. Yes, it's Rhythm Paradise time again. This time with Beat the Beat, Rhythm Paradise for the Wii. The most cumbersome name of all the versions. This is Minna no Rizme Tengoku. Actually, Minna no Rizme Tengoku is quite a bit longer. Is it? That doesn't really matter. Rhythm Heaven Fever, though, is way easier to say. I'm just gonna delete this one. Oh, delete. Oh, I see. I've never actually deleted a file on this before. But yeah, that was my failed attempt at recording this because there's a little bit of desync, which, when you're doing a rhythm game, is not ideal. I'm gonna see if it's still happening. Hope that it doesn't. It's good to know who you are, and I am me. Hey guys, how you doing? Hello!
Welcome to Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise!
This game is both a lot of fun and easy to play!
This is just simple as basic buzz.
What are you saying, little pink girl?
What do you mean you don't know my name?
This is getting a bit awkward. We should probably stop now. Why don't we see how good your rhythm is? Just, yeah.
Subtle subject change there.
Shut up. As ready as I'll ever be. So yes, the rhythm games have, begun sort of testing similar to that of Rhythm Tengoku, the original. Obviously in the second one, they didn't test your rhythm so much as your ability to flick, because it was kind of vital to playing the game. So yes, the aim of this one is to tap A as well as you can, and either I've just learned, or the desync is a lot better. As in, there's not quite so much of it, because last time I had virtually none on the line, and they were almost all fast. So either I've just learned to accommodate, or it's not there quite as much. But yeah, the opening rhythm game is very similar to that of the original Rhythm Tengoku, so it's pretty nifty. It's also something that in the West you wouldn't have seen. You'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder why they didn't do this in the original one." And then, obviously, they did! It's just that we didn't get the original one, because they hate us. But we'll discuss that again a bit later. And when I say a bit, I mean, like, way near the end of the project. Not sure why I'm bringing that up now, but I felt like it. Okay, I probably need to focus a bit more at this if I want to do well. I mean, it doesn't really matter how well you do. It's just, the better you do, then the more confident you'll feel about being able to play the game. Oh, I'm doing miles better this time than in the previous recording. Like, he virtually never looked extremely happy when I did it now, and then this time it's just like, yeah, you're getting right on the beat! Oh, except for that one, that was, kinda not right at all. Wasn't paying attention that time. Maybe this one will go better. Moderately okay, I suppose. I'll accept it, if I must. But yeah, if somehow you hadn't noticed, that guy gives you an indication of how well you did, based on how happy he looks. If he looks ecstatic, you're right on the mark. Otherwise, you're a little bit off. Pretty middling, poorish result there, but it doesn't really matter. I'm still pleased with the number that were on the line, because it suggests it'll be alright for the entire project. That's it for the rhythm test! Good to know. By the way, aren't you one of the guys from Glee Club?
How was that? It isn't important how well you did in the test. Just have fun! But if you can't do rhythm very well, then you're not going to be able to play any more of this game. Sorry to tell you that. I mean, it is a rhythm game after all, it kind of makes sense.
Oh, one more thing. You don't need to press A during the test. Here's some controls for you. So yes, this game works. You just have your Wii remote, and you just need to press, at most, A and B at the same time. Not quite sure what we did there, but alright. Yeah. I don't think there's any way you just have to press B. I think it's always either just A or A and B. However, when we get into it, I'm just going to discuss a theory or two I have about this game. Now, I won't show it off just yet. I'll wait until it's going to be something fairly relevant. So, if you haven't watched one of my Rhythm Paradise Rhythm Tengoku, whatever, Let's Plays before, then the way it works is that each video is pretty dang long, because I do this entire row in one video, and then, well, you'll see what happens. So we'll start off with the first game, Hole in One. By the way, if you like monkeys, this game's for you. And when I say this game, I don't just mean this minigame, I mean this entire game. Everything is monkeys. This guy's just called Monkey. Not the most imaginative parents you have there. Okay, sounds simple enough. Everyone has to be extremely accurate. I'm sure it'll be fine. We have a kind of weird looking anatomy. We don't have any details on our hands. But that's fine. Nice. Now, when you first play this, you don't necessarily have an idea of how the rhythm should go. Do monkeys swing particularly well? Yeah, I remember when I first played it, I just completely missed every single time and was like, huh, you're not doing so well. Oh, that's right, I guess you'd really kind of need a beat to do this. So, this game lets you in nice and easily. And even if you completely mess it up, then it's just like, okay, we'll make it a little simpler because it's easy once you have an actual rhythm to go by. And a little tune. Which, if you listen, kind of sounds like a slow version of Saria's song from Ocarina of Time. Just listen. Etc. Ah! Hello, Mandrill. Are you a Mandrill or are you a baboon? Mando! A Mandrill, presumably. I'm just gonna leave this up for a little bit. Yep. Someone animated that. And they did a very good job. Jesus Christ, man! Ah! These things are like the size of our head! Are you trying to kill us? Jesus Christ. Well, come to think of it, that's the size of our head. Steady on! But if you look at the golf balls, they're they're pretty much exactly our hands. Like, just look at that. That's kind of creepy. Oh, you mandrill. So yeah, if you fail it, I'm gonna see what happens actually if you miss the cue. I think it's kind of funny. Because, you know, obviously he's kind of trying to kill you from the looks of it. Ah! Yeah, that would probably be pretty damn painful. And, again, if you, don't manage to get the timing with Mandrill in the first instance, then, then Monkey will say, "No! You're meant to give him a beat to work with, you fool! You can even hit his fastballs. Or, you can even hit his fastballs. I don't know." Rhythm is everything in our world. If you don't get it right, you can't survive. So yes, and then they slowly take you through with a combination of having to get used to the cues both from Monkey and from Mandrill introduced at the same time. Well yeah, again, for people who haven't witnessed any previous Rhythm Paradise Let's Plays of mine, the strategy is I show off the tutorials, because sometimes they're kind of funny. This one has been okay. But, and then I show off my first attempt at playing the game, where I give commentary at the exact same time. And usually I do alright, but quite often towards the later bits of the game, my success is sort of limited. Now, if you haven't played a Rhythm Paradise game before, then the system... Sorry? The system is basically, you play the little minigame, and as you go along, you can have several sort of levels of success. You can have beats which are perfectly on the rhythm, as I'm getting a few of this time. I think the indication for a perfect rhythm this time is the ball directly hits the pole and just bounces in. I think very close is it swirls around in the hole, like that. And then pretty close is where it goes off and then careens back in. So yeah, there's some levels of success, and then obviously there's completely missing to hit the ball, which nets you no points there. And the aim of the game is just to do as well as you can. It's not all just monkey golf, though, as you shall soon see. Oops. Sorry, monkey. I'm a disappointment to your kind. What I find a bit weird is that, like, the golf ball fits in the hole no matter, like, which one of them throws it, even though mandrills are quite clearly a lot bigger. Yeah, well. I'm also quite surprised that whale hung around for as long as he did, actually. He put up with a lot of abuse. Oh no, they're totally different sizes. I didn't even notice that before. But yes, depending on how well you do, you then get a little rating at the very end. They usually give indications of which bits were stronger and which were weaker. So, for example, this text says, "Ook, impressive," and mandrill feel excited, because, you know, you can't read. So the Ook impressive shows that you did well during the monkeys sections, and mandrill feel excited shows you did well during the mandrill sections. If, for example, I was really good at hitting mandrills, but not monkeys, then the first bit of text would say, "You kinda need more practice at this game," and mandrill feel excited! Or possibly it would be, "but mandrill feel excited." And then, as you can see in the bottom right, it says, "Superb, you got a medal." If you do well enough, then you get that rating. If you do not perfect, not particularly well, but alright, you get an okay rating, which lets you continue, but you don't get a medal. Ah, you guys are so sweet. And then there's obviously also completely failing, which doesn't let you even continue on to the next minigame that you play. So, having done that, we unlock a row of goodies, the first of which is the cafe. We might as well go say hi to the barista first. Welcome to the cafe. Why, thank you. Kind of, yeah. It's my first time during the Let's Play, at least. Yes, the barista, or barista, the barrister, probably not that last one. But yeah, basically, if you play through this game, and you reach one of the minigames where you have a fair amount of trouble, if you try and do it 3 times and you fail 3 times, you can go over to the cafe and the game will let you skip over to the next minigame so you can keep playing. So it's quite good for people who have trouble with rhythm. But I think you don't get any bonuses, obviously, for skipping over the game. But you can come back to it at any time, so it's not a problem at all. So, Screwbot Factory is the first game to feature controls, entirely using A and B. In fact, the first one actually using them at all, because the Rhythm Test and Monkey Golf were both just A, weren't they?
3, 4.
Oops. So the aim of this one is to hold on to A and B just long enough that the little robot's head gets screwed on perfectly tightly, not too loose, not too tight. If it goes too tight, then you destroy the little dude, and it's kind of sad. He screwed together the smaller robots too. So yes, this is just a test. You can see the little white one, and you have to hold on for less time for that one, obviously, because the necks are a lot smaller. Oop! Sorry, I was still in darker robot mode. God dang it. Okay, I think I might show off something after this one. Just listen to that though, is that the robots were saying, I think the black ones say, "Oh yeah," and the white ones say, "Let's go!" Just bear that in mind. I'll come back to it after this little mini-game. But yeah, again, much like, well, exactly like the monkey one, you can have several different levels of success, which you saw pretty much all of when I was doing the introduction bit. You can do it perfectly. You can do it like, I think basically anything other than getting it pretty much spot on is a failure though in this one, whereas in the Monkey Golf there was a bit more room for error. Oops. I'm not certain though, but I think... Yeah. And now I'm kind of screwing this up. Totally intentional, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, so some games are a lot more forgiving than others, so obviously at this point in the game, I think... I'm not certain about Screwbots, or Screwbot Factory, because I'd say anything other than getting it perfectly tightly on is a failure, but maybe not. I think the only real failure is you don't press A and B to start at the right time. and the robot goes past. Like that. That was actually an intentional mistake, by the way. I promise you. Not just lying. You see, now it just makes me sound like I am, and then I'm confusing everybody. Or not, because I can trust your intelligence, I think. Oh. I'm sorry, little guy. If it's any consolation, it means you're a bit taller. So... Sweet. So we got another superb. I was a bit worried that we might have failed the white robots for that section. Let's go save the Earth. Now, I'm not going to play through the entire game again. We unlocked rhythm toys! Sweet, we'll come back to that right at the very end of the project, though. Oh, maybe I'll save it for seasonal. No, you know what? I'm going to show it off now. So, this is something that was unique to the European version of Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, or this game, essentially. Which is sort of why it's forgivable that this game came out so much later than it did in America. But, if you go back to the menu screen, obviously because this game was made in Japan originally, and some of the games have text and words and everything, in this version you can actually choose which text you want. You can have either English voices or Japanese voices. So if you just quickly go back and look at the Screwbot Factory again, we can go and listen to what the little robots say, because it's different. Because I suppose really in Japan you could probably say things like, oh yeah, and let's go. More so let's go, I'd say. But the Japanese ones have different things which we obviously don't say in English. Just listen. It says, yatta! Which is basically like, yay! And also listen. Is it the little, or the voice giving us sort of timing instructions was in Japanese as well. Not sure what the little white ones are saying. But yeah, it's just a fairly interesting little thing, and I meant to quit there. And throughout quite a few of the games, I think it's the same in Seesaw, the sounds are kind of different. Just some of the little audio cues, but in some things later there are actually words to the songs, and they're entirely different. I'll just quickly get through the tutorial for Seesaw, and then I'll discuss my plans for which language to do it in. So yes, basically this game is quite interesting, because you have to get used to different rhythms. This just seems pretty simple enough, right? You just have to press A when you land. Nothing weird about that, right? Well, in the middle section, obviously because there's less distance, and as he says, you'll launch less high. You have to tap twice as fast. Is it twice as fast? Seems about twice as fast. But the challenge comes from having to figure out, or having to get used to transitions between the two. So, yes, he will. Your partner always goes before you, so you don't have to worry about making the transitions or anything. But you have to sort of get used to the timing mixing up suddenly, or I guess partner doesn't always go first, but you will automatically go first, so don't worry about it. I think it's a little hard to tell though. Yeah, this is where it gets a bit harder to tell when you've jumped over, because you have to just watch your own trajectory in the middle of the air like that. But yes, as you can hear, they're making sort of Japanese sounds of exertion, and they make different noises in the English. So my plan is that in the original one I do, it's a little tricky because not for every game I'll. Let me just tell you the plan anyway. Is that in the original version, or in my first playthrough, I'll probably do the version I prefer, because that one is sure to get shown off. And then if I have to do a superb attempt, I'll swap it over to the other language. Because for some games I prefer the Japanese, and for others I prefer the English. Oop. It's not always a sort of clear-cut thing of, oh yeah, the Japanese one is way better, or Japanese sucks. You've always got to do the English one. It's every now and then it's just like, yeah, Japanese one's pretty cool, but I like how the English guys did it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, at least they looked happy when they were particles. And the high jumps were impressive. Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be a... But you didn't quite do it. That's absolutely fine. Holy crap! We're flying through space! Wait, how did you both get launched up? That's not how seesaws work. Surely only one of you should be flying through space at the moment. And we've also unlocked endless games, again, at the end of the project. For now... Oh, I forgot about this game! Oh, it's like the cutest thing ever. Like, it's obscenely cute. In fact, I'm not even sure I'm allowed to show it on YouTube without some kind of warning. But yeah, we are joined by, not sure what this is actually. Is it a gopher? A weasel? Some kind of ferret thing? In any case, this is kind of a lot like... It makes you think of a lot of, or at least makes me think of, this sort of stereotypical Japanese high school thingy, and I'm not listening to the music. It's been a long time since I played this one, so I'm sorry if it takes me a while to get the cues. Yeah, just sort of Japanese high school anime. You'll see even more so when we get into the actual game, because it's just setting us up for now. But the aim of the game is just watch the ball as it comes and get the timing right. Now that's an example of me getting the rhythm close to right, but not quite perfect. And then that's how you do it when you get it perfect. Thank you! I still don't know what you are. And yes, it also introduces other types of balls that you have to get used to. The rhythm of the basketballs is different. You have to wait for it to bounce twice, and then hit it away pretty much immediately after that. Oop. Oh dear. He's not very good at this. Yeah, I'm still wondering, like, who's flinging all of these at them? Like, where is this near endless supply of basketballs coming from? Hang on a second. I'm just gonna turn it up for myself. Because I can't really hear the music at all. Which will probably help me do it a bit better. And I don't really want to waste your time as much as I'm able. Is that a euphemism? Are those American footballs? Yes. Yes, they are. And the rhythm for the American footballs is even more different than it was before. Dum, dum, dum. Sort of regular beats of 3. Or beat of 3, I suppose. I don't know. But, yeah, this game, it's actually quite a lot of fun. I found when I was first playing it, it found, like, I'll get into this when I actually start playing. But I found it kind of helped to sort of say the types of the balls out loud as they came by in the rhythm that you need to kick them. I'll tell you a bit. I had to change American football to rugby ball because they look kind of similar. And yeah, you're on a date and it's so cute. Foot, ball, basketball. I don't know, it, like, I had trouble with it at first and then rugby ball. I don't know, it helped me. It probably won't help anyone else in the world. This is also the game starting its lovely theme of trying to put things in the background to distract you from what's going on. But yes, our job is to prevent these basketballs and footballs and everything from ruining our lovely date with... Oh, it's just such a cute game! I'm sorry, it's just... No. Oh, that looked painful. I think I'm gonna see what happens if you let it go. Yeah, I thought the girl looks kind of distressed and she's like, ah! She's also completely oblivious to what we're doing here. But that's fine. As long as we can keep our date going nice and happily. I suppose... Are we actually being him or are we just being his foot? That would be actually quite cool for him looking annoyed, is that he's not actually controlling his foot right now and it just keeps sort of spasming away the balls and everything. Just like, what are you doing? Stop! Stop flying up like that! Ah! You're making me look like a real weirdo! I don't know, I get the feeling maybe someone's actually trying to sabotage him at this point. Because this number of footballs and everything is just not natural. Either that has been a sort of explosion in the sports cupboard. also like how the weasel things are so goddamn happy every time you kick away the footballs and everything. Woo! And yet, again, our date over there is completely oblivious to what's going on, even though the weasels keep going, yeah! Yeah! Yo! They're all blushy and it's... God. Those guys. I did cope when the balls were flying, even though you kept throwing people in the background to try and distract me, damn you.
I want to tell you my feelings, Senpai.
Pretty much every anime ever. It's about this time that she turns into a robot with aliens for feet. I don't know. But once you get through the first 4 games in a row, or in a column I should say, you unlock the remix. Now, the remix, you're not allowed to practice, but that's absolutely fine because all it is a series of, or it's just one long song played using the controls of the games you've done up to this point. So it's basically a new song, but old controls. And it's really quite interesting because, well, they keep the song sort of flowing nice and happily, and you just have to adapt to the new control schemes and remember how to actually play everything. But as you can see, the music hasn't like changed style or anything. It's just the exact same bit of music. And our date is now upgraded to the Caribbean or something along those lines. Whoop. I'm not very good at seesawing on an island. It's a lot more difficult than you think. Change of locale is really quite a devastating effect on our little friend over there. I also will apologise now if I'm ever like fairly quiet while playing these rhythm games, but obviously it's kind of hard to keep up your sense of rhythm while you're trying to talk arrhythmically. I mean, I suppose I could sort of keep trying to talk to the beat, but that would just get kind of weird. Also, one thing I didn't point out, but I'm sure you noticed regardless, is that all the styles and everything changed just to fit your new theme. So these guys are now green instead of just black and white. And obviously they were in the Caribbean, or Caribbean or whatever. And these guys have top hats, which is pretty stylish. Except for Mandrill, who has a flowery headdress. Looking stylish there, buddy. Dull. So yes, other than that, remixes are exactly the same as any other given rhythm game that you got. With that, we were as good as a fine banquet. Now, depending on how well you do, these things will say different things. So it's like, you were as good as a fine banquet is the superb one. The good one will probably be something like, you were as good as a really tasty sandwich. Which is, you know, still pretty good. And then, if you fail, it's like, you were as good as a burned plate of crap. Except a bit less extreme than that. In any case, so we have finished our first column with Superb's first time round every time. Don't get used to that. But yes, so thank you guys very much for joining me for this part of Let's Play Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise. I'm probably going to wind up shortening that, or maybe not. It's only 5 words. In any case, thank you guys very much. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I shall see you next week for the next episode. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.